Hello guys, this is Kish TV. Make sure to subscribe to the channel. Make sure to also give us a thumbs up. If you like the video, please subscribe to this channel, share to your friends, encourage the work. We are still on the case of Black Lives Matter, and today we are just going to do a brief...
A Black Lives Matter movement that began peacefully in London has descended into violence and chaos. Crowds clash with police before turning on the media, ambushing our Euro correspondent Ben Avery, forcing him to abandon his live report.
On the Prime Minister's front doorstep, a protest erupts. The crowd turns on police and the chants get louder. Police under attack and fighting back. Activists fired up after officers tackled a man who broke through a barrier. While inside number 10, British Prime Minister Boris Johnson publicly condemned George Floyd's death.
I was appalled and sickened to see what happened to him. Racism, racist violence has no place in our society.
The second day of demonstrations in a coronavirus lockdown London began peacefully.
Message that I got to the world is spread love, not hate.
Gridlock drivers in support as crowds trying to socially distance.
Put your arms out to the side like this.
Mourned George Floyd, denounced Donald Trump and protested discrimination in the UK.
What is going on around the world cannot be allowed to continue.
Thousands spilled onto the streets in Hyde Park too, where they sat, climbed and stood in solidarity with Black Lives Matter, a Star Wars actor rallying the crowd.
Black lives have always mattered. We have always been important. It is very, very important that we keep control in this moment and we make this as peaceful as possible.
But not everyone had the same idea. Met officers switched out for riot police and the street scuffles continued into the night. It's not only the police, the media is also a target. It was during a live cross on the protests we too came under threat.
Okay guys, so we've been trying to walk away from the danger here, but it's been following us.
Our security guard tried to hold back a crowd, some grabbing at our camera gear as we were chased through a covered walkway close to the Houses of Parliament. There'll be more protests this weekend, demonstrators vowing to return. In London, Ben Avery, 9 News.
And a man has been arrested and charged with assault after 9 Europe correspondent Sophie Walsh was attacked during a live broadcast.
Sorry.
Sophie, you okay?
Sorry. I just...
Sophie?
Yeah, I just had someone come up and try and... Yeah.
You okay, Soph?
Sorry.
It's all right, Sophie.
Yeah, a man just came up and grabbed me.
It's okay.
He's okay, he's not armed. A man just came up and grabbed me, though.
The man, who allegedly had a screwdriver in his pocket, shouted Allah Akbar while punching her in the stomach. Her cameraman chasing the suspect down with a light stand. Sophie was certainly shaken, but thankfully unharmed.
Anti-racism protesters in London have again descended into chaos, with 10 police officers injured and 14 people arrested. As Europe correspondent Ben Avery reports, tens of thousands had turned out in the city to honour George Floyd.
The British capital alight with anger. Violence flaring outside Downing Street for the second day this week. Police responding by charging at the crowd. An officer knocked from her horse, adding to the fear and confusion. Frightened animal collecting a protester as it bolted.
Oh my gosh! Oh my days, no!
But rioters used the chaos as a distraction, throwing objects at the policewoman now lying helpless on the street. A bicycle is then pushed into another horse as police control starts to slip. Just like Wednesday's protest, this one had started peacefully. Thousands standing shoulder to shoulder in Parliament Square, using their words to send a message.
I have my little ones out here with me to understand what's happening and to show the power. Come on, everyone stand up.
Pop star Madonna made her way into the rally on crutches, a knee injury not enough to keep her at home, and flying high above the crowd, a familiar flag. Australians there to take their own unique stand.
I grew up on Aboriginal land, it was never ceded, and we have the same fight.
Despite, a reform in 91, there's been 432 deaths of Aboriginals in custody.
The UK government had urged people not to attend these protests, reminding them that gatherings of more than 6 people are currently banned under the COVID-19 regulations. But given this level of interest and this level of passion, enforcing those rules was always going to be impossible.
So I'm here with a mask on. I am showing the government that I am heeding to their rules.
But while the majority was there to comply, some would again rebel. The Winston Churchill statue defaced, and as the weather took a wild turn in the early evening, so too did the behaviour. A storm on the streets spreading to the US Embassy, where another day of action is about to begin. In London, Ben Avery, 9 News.
Hello guys, this is Kish TV. Make sure to subscribe to the channel. Make sure to also give us a thumbs up if you like the video. Please guys, subscribe to this channel, share to your friends, encourage the work. We are still on the case of Black Lives Matter, and today we are just going to do a brief thing about entertainment, then we'll go back straight to what is happening on Black Lives Matter.